Hey folks, it's Wednesday now. We are halfway through the week. Congratulations to you, we are halfway there. We are on the downward slope now. So, happy days all the way down to the weekend now. If you like what I do, the subscribe button is down below. The Patreon button is also down below. And if you'd like to get any models over the next few weeks, make sure you go to Composite Games. Use the promo code Northern Exile down below and get yourself 5% off at checkout. It really amuses me to keep them tired and rushed off their feet and selling stuff. So, moving on to Hobby Nightmares. I am reliably informed that one of them I should read from start to finish at the end and not give any comment until the end. That's going to be difficult. But anyway, rushing in, we have 3 today from all over the Discord and the hobby space where we can get involved and have a little word here. And we do have a story from a Dave later on, which is great. So, if you want to send me anything, the email is down below, Hobby Nightmares. The email is down below. And anything sent to me in the next probably a few days might get read out on Friday or might get read out on Monday. I always try to do these things as fairly as I can. And I don't think I've ever really torn anyone to shreds on here, you know. I try not to anyway. But yeah, let's move in. Let's move on, shall we? If you want honest advice or an honest ear, you've got me, and you've got loads of people in the comment section as well, and on the Discord. So, you know, everybody who comes here, by the way, seems to be really reasonable, and I can't thank you guys enough in the comment section. You know, 99% of you are top blokes and girls who will literally give honest advice and just be, you know, commiserating with things that have gone badly, you know, celebrating things that have gone well. That's what I like to see. Anyway, moving on. Mike says, hi. This one is quite a controversial topic, but I hope you will understand. Oh my god, here we go. I had a group of 12 people who I played Age of Sigmar with. Now, I was the only Christian in my group, where the rest were atheists. This is important for later. Have you ever read the start or listen to the start of one of these stories and gone, this is going to be a disaster? Anyway, one day, a new person was brought into the group I'll call Fred. Fred was a trans male with about 2 years experience in Warhammer Age of Sigmar. He was extremely good at the game, but was a terrible winner, always being quite toxic if he didn't get his roles, and when he won, he would celebrate in my friend's face. Okay. I, however, with 3 months' experience, was able to beat Fred 9 out of 10 times, which clearly pissed him off, as he wanted to win all of the time. After 4 months of him being in my group, Fred found out I was a Christian. Now, I'm quite an honest person, and don't like to lie about anything. Fred knew this, and asked me, what are your thoughts on LGBTQT people? Being Christian and all. Oh no. Oh no. Don't tell me, please. Don't tell me you just sat him down. Please don't tell me. We had some people in my group who were extremely left-wing views. Okay, that's fine. Listen, having those views, this is the point, and I keep trying to make it. Having those views doesn't make you a bad person. Alright? It doesn't. Being very conservative and having right-wing views, or being very liberal and having left-wing views, doesn't make you a bad person. Right? You're only a bad person when you seek to harm other people with your views, or you try to push them on other people without them asking for your opinion. Right? That's when you become a bit of a douche. And you know, that's when you get to the stage where people don't want to be around you. Your politics, I don't care about. Right? Your politics spewing out of your mouth, I do care about. Anyway, I tried to avoid the question, as I don't want to get into debate about it, but he kept pushing me for an answer. Oh no. I answered honestly that I don't agree as a Christian, but I want to treat everybody the same no matter who they are. When Fred heard me say that, he said quite loudly, "What's that? You hate LGBTQ people?" Obviously exaggerating what I said. Those who were extremely left in the group, 7 of them, instantly got quite angry with me and started shouting at me for having such views and insulted my religion. They said they wanted me out of the group, whilst the other half came to my defence, saying they haven't let me defend myself. To cut the story short, our group fell out over it, and the 5 who came to my defence, we stayed friends, while the other half still play with Fred. To this day, Fred, in that group at least, is undefeated, as far as I'm aware. Cheers! And, yeah, he says his name at the end there, and I don't want to say it. So, I'm going to say this is an open and closed story. Right? This is an open and closed story, from start to finish. Because there is no problem here, right? The problem is you are playing with pretty toxic people who nobody wants to play with because they're all douches, right? They're all douchebags. They're all there, and you're now away with people who actually want to play games with you and are actually quite nice to you and came to your defence. This worked out for the best. They've got their own little love-in over there playing soggy biscuit with each other, and you're there with your friends, right? No problem. This is a good end to the story. You stayed away from them, they stayed away from you, everybody's a winner. I will say, both sides are guilty of this. Both sides do this. You know, straw manning, both of them do it. Straw manning all of the time. Happens all of the time, right? Yeah, what's that? You say you don't like this? Because they know they've got an audience there. They know they've got an audience there to jump on them and say, you know, well, I never, that's terrible, you know, and they can all rend their garments together. Yeah, whatever, dude. Move on. And good for having that outlook, by the way. You want to treat everybody equally. Good. S says, hey there, most northern of exiles. My name is S, and I own a game/hobby store in Tennessee. So, with that being said, please overlook the spelling or errors you will find littered in this email, as education was not my forte. Dude, you've just used the word forte in a sentence and done it right. Give yourself a break. I started my business in February of this year, and really wanted to give this the good old college try. And I'm proud to say, it's going better than I expected. I'm already moving into a bigger building where I can facilitate games in store, as my current location is quite tiny. There have been nightmares, but mainly dealing with distributors. The main one being Games Workshop. Oh no, right, okay, yeah, I know a lot of people have to deal with this kind of thing. Okay, let's get into it. They were one of the first companies I wanted to reach out to because it seems to be a staple of any local game store. Side note, I've never played the game myself, but did buy an older book set on sale a couple of years ago to paint, and I loved it. The application process was pretty straightforward. The new accounts person I spoke with was professional and really laid back. We did the normal spiel, minimums for free shipping, shipping times, monthly minimums, etc. Monthly minimums basically means, guys, if you buy in bulk as a distributor, you get it cheaper so you can sell it. You can actually make money selling it, you know. Being in the same state as GW USA, main headquarters, I'm thinking, hell yeah, 1-2 day turnaround on shipping. Love it. They sold me on their best sellers display, which is pretty standard requirement to meet their basics to get established and to benefit from shipping and net terms. The best sellers rack is pretty lackluster in my eyes as a business point. 2 combat patrols, orcs and sisters, a few space marines, some Tau, and a handful of other stuff. But besides the starter boxes, there seems to be nothing there to get the players up and playing, sort of a thing. Yeah, I think if this has happened recently, we're coming to the end of the current edition. So maybe what they're doing is they're saying, yeah, let's not give him a starter box set to sell because you know, it's going to be out of date in a few weeks, or maybe a month or two. You know, maybe that's part of the reason. The other reason is with 9th edition, it's been very strange. With 9th edition, the starter box sets have sort of it went from Indomitus, wasn't it? Yeah, it went from that to basically being nothing. Right? We went from having that when it came out to having all sorts of like different boxes, and it got quite confusing, which I don't like. So I hope with the new edition, like Leviathan comes out, and then we just get 3 different sizes of Leviathan box set after that, and it stays that way. That's the starter box set. Because 9th was really confusing. 8th was really good. You had Dark Imperium, and then you have 3 different sizes of Dark Imperium, depending on your budget and your time. Brilliant, yeah? That's what I want out of 10th. But what it seems to me is that you've been caught in a bit of a weird edition of 9th edition, where we don't really have quote-unquote starter box sets for 50% of the time that we have in the edition. And in fact, you're joining right at the end of the 9th edition. So I don't think it's any wonder that they haven't given you anything to sell in terms of being an up-and-playing starter box set. But there we go. After about a week, I get an introductory call with my sales rep, who is a chill guy, so nothing against him. We schedule weekly calls on Mondays. We've talked business, and I said I wanted to be bringing in more combat patrols, as those should be what are considered best sellers to an extent. It's a lot easier to sell a combat patrol box than a squad of Space Marines or some random blight crawler to someone that is wanting to get into the game. That is very true. That is very, very, very true. That is something that always irked me as well, is that Games Workshop will sell you. So I ran a Games Workshop store, but I also worked in and ran for a while a local hobby store as well. Whenever we would get stuff in from Games Workshop, and it was stuff that they wanted us to sell, it was always random. Like, we got a Land Raider once. Like, who the fuck? Like, if you're starting an army, you don't just go and buy a Land Raider, right? And they put it in the, start here section. Start with the Land Raider. Are you high? Are you high? You start with the starter box set, or a combat patrol, or the equivalent, right? You don't start with a fucking tank, just sitting there on its own, right? Maybe you do. If you have ever done that, no problem, all power to you. But most people out there want to get something in their hands that they can actually play the game with. You can't run a legal list with one tank. Duh, right? So why would you put it in the starter box set section? It's silly. I don't know why they do it. I just think sometimes that they get lazy and go, I'll just throw that in. That'll be fine. Throw that in, right? A lot of local stores in Liverpool do the same thing as well. Like, you'll go in and they'll have a really random assortment of Games Workshop products. Like, what's that Blight Crawler doing there? What's that Soul Grinder doing there? Like, I want starter box sets. I want, like, box sets I can come in, buy at a discount, because, you get more stuff in the bigger boxes, and I want to get that and start my army. I don't want to buy this random model. I want an army. But anyway, moving on. My main headache with them is the shipping time when I place orders through my rep. It's ridiculous. Granted, I can order online with my store info and take a hit of my profit margins because they take away 10% if I use their website. Wow. And can't utilise my net terms. But I can usually get my order within a day or two, depending on what time I order it. That's clearly what they want you to do. They're pushing you in that direction. When I order through my rep, I can put money on it that I won't see anything in for about a week and a half. Wow. Do you know why that is? My rep kind of plays like he has no idea. Okay. Let's see. Then comes new releases. Especially with the Lion being released. I spoke with my rep the Monday before he was announced because I knew his model was going to be hard to get and I wanted to make sure I could get him on a pre-order, but was told that we have to wait until our next call to do that. So the next Monday rolls around and guess what? All sold out by the time I get to my call. I was not thrilled at all, and because it was sold out, because I tried to secure it beforehand to avoid that, and was essentially brushed off until the following week. Obviously, the same thing is going to happen when I get a call this Monday. I wanted to get Kill Team Gallowfall because I love Votan and wanted a set for myself and to sell. I told my rep on the last Monday I wanted to secure Gallowfall and a few more items, and it was like he had no idea what that was. And I got the old, well, we will have to talk about it next Monday. I'm already seeing that it is sold out, so I'm preparing to be disappointed yet again. Oh my god. That is my idea of hell. That is horrible. Is this a normal pattern to a non-Games Workshop store? Since you've worked in both the local game store and the Games Workshop store, I wanted an outside opinion on this. Thanks, dude. Keep up the awesome content. No problem. So, from my experience, this is several years ago now. From my experience, yes, it is very much a normal thing to go through with Games Workshop. They do not have a good reputation when it comes to looking after their stock accounts. You would be what we would frame as a stock account when we are working for Games Workshop, right? So yeah, they don't have a great rep of looking after you. Mainly because, I don't want to say they don't care, because obviously they do. They want you to sell their stuff. But quite frankly, dude, this is going to sound really harsh and horrible. You are at the bottom of the totem pole when it comes to getting stuff out there on the fly. And I don't know any local game store managers or owners who have had really good relationships with Games Workshop, right? They've had very cordial relationships with them, no problem. But getting stuff sent out to them can be a pain in the arse sometimes. What I will tell you is that they will not give you pre-order stuff, right? Unless you are over a certain bracket of store. If you're a certain bracket of store that's quite large and you're a long-time client of theirs, you will get things like Gallowfall. You will get things like the Lion up front very early to put in your store to sell on release day. That will happen, right? You will get that. The thing is, when you're at that level, you're at the same level as a normal Games Workshop store. Because the normal Games Workshop store also gets them a week early to sell on a day of release. So if you ever get to that level, that's when you are. You wait till you move into that new building and you start calling them with bigger orders. That's when they'll start saying, oh, okay. You're like, yeah, that new release you wanted? Yeah, it is available now. It's available now if you want to get it. You know, that kind of thing. That will happen. It's up to you whether you want to chase that gravy train. It's up to you. I wouldn't. I would stick with what you've got. And if things are already going well, forget about the new releases, dude. Buy them with everybody else. I'm sorry, but you're just going to have to do it with everybody else. Or, if you really want something, do the thing that drops it by 10%. You know? Because I know it sucks, but you're not saving as much money. But at least you're saving some money, and you're getting what you really want, right? That's just for your personal stuff. For everything else, though, get stuff that isn't brand new. Get stuff that you know you can sell. Combat Patrol boxes, the new Leviathan box set in all shapes and sizes, paint sets, dude, get loads and loads and loads of paint sets, get loads of paints, they will sell like hotcakes, right? Brushes, the whole 9 yards, right? Get all the things that you need to make the hobby when you're starting to sell. What I would do, what we used to do, we used to tell Games Workshop, we don't want your glues, we don't want your clippers, we don't want your brushes, because they're all shit. We don't want any of that, right? All we want is your starter box set. We want your core starter box set. We want your combat patrols, or what the equivalent of that was back in the day, like your start collecting boxes. And we want several, deal boxes. We want those. We want deal boxes, like several models or several units in a box. We want those. Everything else, not interested. Be very cold and clear and black and white. Not interested in anything else. Give us the stuff we know we can sell. If you don't give us that stuff, we'll stop stocking you. No problem. Right? We have tons of other people that we could stock that people want to buy. No, there wouldn't be an issue whatsoever, right? In our store, Games Workshop was not the highest seller. The highest seller was D&D. Right? The highest seller was Wizards of the Coast and Magic the Gathering. Those are the two things that were highest sellers for us. So we could tell Games Workshop, hey, yeah, we don't care. Give us what we want. We know you can. We know you can, because you've got loads of these boxes lying around. Give us those boxes. We'll sell them. You'll make money. We'll make money. Everyone's happy, right? If you don't do that, we won't stock you. No problem. And that's not a problem to us, right? So only get what you know you can sell, and stop using this product line as kind of a thing that, oh, that's cool. Don't cherry pick things, dude. Don't cherry pick things. Say, oh, that's cool. I'd like to sell that. That's not how. That the business is not going to succeed doing that, because not everybody wants the Lion. How many people really want the Lion? Right? Dark Angels players, which is about 2% of the hobby. Let's be honest, right? Because it's one army in the entire hobby, right? And then wider Space Marine players, maybe 5 to 10% of them want the Lion, right? Imperial Fist players don't really want the lion, right? Do you know what I mean? Space Wolf players really don't want the lion. That's what I'm saying, okay? You're going after niche products that you think are cool and are going to sell really well, but those are the things that the big stores sell, because the big stores get everybody in the hobby coming to them, and they can sell those things. What you need to concentrate on is growing your business and selling things that you know you can sell. Starter box sets, combat patrols, if they release a start collecting kind of a thing, again, one of those, you know, all of these box sets. That's what you want. You don't want single units, you want box sets. Box sets and paints, Citadel paints, right? Those are the two things that you want. And make sure you get loads of white dwarfs as well. They always sell, right? That's what I would do. If you want any more advice, we do have the manager, the owner of Composite Games around on the Discord. Head on over there to the Composite Games side of the Discord and ask to speak to him. I'm sure he'll give you some advice on how to deal with them. But yeah, it can be very, very, very frustrating. So, next up, Dave. It is a story from a Dave. And a nice Dave, I've been told. Sorry, just taking a sip of tea. So Dave says, "Hi North. Yes, my name is Dave. Like, that is actually my name, even though it gets an unfair rundown on this channel at times. Yeah, sorry about that, dude. Anyway, cheers for all you do. Moving on. Other names in this story, apart from mine, have obviously been changed. I live in the US, and to be honest, I'm having a bit of a crisis here right now. Mainly, women-related. So, any of you that are not wanting to know about anything like that should walk away now. I met my other half, Alison, at a D&D group. She was an outgoing girl with a lot of bluster, but also some cracking dark jokes that I took to immediately. Okay, likes D&D, blustery, you know, quite confrontational, and has dark sense of humour. I bet she cheats on you. Moving on. She was also a very good-looking girl. Not that that is the most important thing, and seemed genuinely interested in me. I know that sounded really, judgy, you know, but like, trust me, and women do this with men as well. By the way, you know, the red flags, you know, they come up. And you're like, yeah, don't get me wrong. I'm sure if you're a bolshy woman who likes D&D, I'm sure you've never cheated on anybody. But like, the fact of the matter is, there are a hell of a lot of people out there who give you a bad name by doing shit like that. Unfortunately, same thing goes for me and gym bros. You know, I go to the gym. Does that mean I'm going to cheat on you? No, but a lot of the guys in there will, because they're just, you know, hound dog sort of a thing. Anyway, needless to say, after a while we started dating, and up until 3 weeks ago had been going strong for 5 years. Oh, first rocky bit there. The issue came with her mental outlook. You see, Alison had a few really bad experiences with male relatives when she was younger. In brackets it says, in the way that you think. Oh, God. And this has coloured her time in the dating scene from that point onwards. Well, you know, my heart goes out to her. If she's been through the mill with stuff like that, definitely, you know, that's horrible. One thing I will say, though, unfortunately to the normies out there, that is also a red flag. Unfortunately. Not a lot of people will have the mental fortitude to drag someone like this into normality, into a nice, normal sexual relationship. A lot of people will get their hearts broken by people like this because they don't attach the same value to sex and relationships as you do. Right? And in fact, they see it as quite a traumatic thing, which is a tragedy, really. It's horrible. But not everybody can put up with it, and I think most people can't put up with it, to be honest with you. Yeah, it's tragic, but abuse breeds abuse. You know, it just one of those things. It's not nice, but you know. Would I ever break up with somebody because they had done shit as a kid? And no, but I wouldn't tolerate any bad behaviour. I would not tolerate any bad behaviour at all. Like, the minute I got any toxic behaviour, it would be stamped out, and it would be like, yeah, We're not doing that. We're not doing. This isn't your therapy session. We're not doing your trauma years. Okay, we're not doing that. You're. I'm going to teach you how to actually be in a relationship. I'm not gonna acquiesce to your weird fantasies or any of that warped shit you got going on in your brain. We're gonna purge that. We're gonna get rid of it, and we're gonna have a nice relationship. And if you don't want to do that, there's the door. You know, that's just as black and white as you've got to be with certain people, because it's not their fault. It's not like their abuse is not their fault. It really isn't. But it's not yours either. Do you know what I mean? It's not yours either, as the other half. You weren't there, and you didn't do this. You don't deserve to be punished for it. Lay down clear boundaries of what's acceptable and what isn't, and if they stay within those lines, help them. Okay? Unless the relationship peters out naturally, then fair enough. But help them as much as you can. That's the only advice I can give you for things like that. Okay? Especially when it comes to women, because it fucks them up when they've gone through that in previous years. And you will find, unfortunately, a lot of girls who go through that shit tend to have very high body counts, because they don't put the same amount of joy and preciousness to having sex with somebody as other people do. I'm not sure how blokes do it, because I've not really come across many of them. Anyway, through the years, I have coached her through it. Good lad. Bringing her into intimacy slowly and showing her that she can be vulnerable with somebody again. Wow. Well, dude, you're a Chad, man. That is a cool thing to do. That shows a clear. There's two things that show clear love, and I mean love with a capital L. There's two things, and the second one's gonna make you go what? But the third one for me is if they want to mend you. If you've gone through some shit and they want to mend you, that's love right there. That takes a lot of effort, and you do get rescuers. You do get pathological rescuers as well, but I mean like normal people who love you and just want to help you. That's amazing. When they see the broken parts of you and they want to stitch them back together and help you, awesome. The other thing is cooking for you. If you come home or anything and your girlfriend has cooked you a meal, dude, that's a wrap. Just fucking buy her a ring already. Like if a woman ever does that for you, if a woman feeds you, it goes in two stages, right? It goes in two stages. A woman who is a normal woman, let's be honest. So don't be throwing your metalheads or your tomboys at me, because they won't do this. But like most normal women, most average women, they'll do two things. Firstly, they'll dress you. Secondly, they'll feed you. That's the things that they do, right? So firstly, they'll start dressing you in things that they like. So I had it in America, right? I wore some preppy shit and I hated it. But she liked it, and it got her off, and she was like, "My God, you look so good in that." That's just like, and literally, it's like her wearing a bikini for me. It was the same way, like it was just in reverse. She loved the preppy style, so I wore it because it got her off. She loved it, right? And it got me laid, and I don't mind. Like, okay, I'll wear it, ladies, if you want your guy to wear something, make sure he knows that he looks good in it, if you know what I mean, by taking it off. Because he will wear it again, trust me. In fact, he'll start striding around the house with it on, just on the off chance that you'll touch it. And secondly, when they start making you meals, that when they make you that first meal that you haven't asked for, they've just made something for you. I think I've said it once where I was in a past relationship, and I was in the garage, and I was doing something, and she came in with a sandwich, just made a sandwich for me, and I was like, this is it. Like, I'm putting a ring on this one. She's amazing, right? And that was it. That's when I knew. Okay, here we go. This is it. That's some woman shit. She's doing some woman shit right now. I don't mean like subservience. I mean taking care of you. She's like, oh, I'm gonna take care of my man. He's fixing my car. He's doing something manly. I'm gonna take care of him. I'm gonna go make him a sandwich, then rub his shoulders for a bit, and then I'm gonna go watch TV. That was, dude. There's nothing better in this world than a woman doing woman shit. It's awesome. It's like a man doing man shit, Like, I'm going to fix your car. I'm going to sort you out. I'm going to, it's awesome. Anyway. He says, through the years I've coached her through it, bringing her into intimacy slowly and showing her that she can be vulnerable with somebody again. Eventually, this created a much deeper bond between me and her. Yeah, to be expected. Soon, she was living with me. We were doing Age of Sigmar together. Awesome, man. Me with orcs and her with witch elves. Going to events and generally having a really good time. She even got into her painting again and started selling them, which was really cool. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Alright, now, how are you going to depress me? It's been great so far. A month ago, Alison went on a trip with other artists. Oh no. With other artists to somewhere else in the country. I'm not naming it, as it might out her. Whilst there, her texts were very sparse, and when she got back, she was very withdrawn. Oh, here we go. Here we go. When I finally asked her to tell me what was going on, she told me she had slept with somebody on the artist trip. Fucking told you. Told you. Not just anybody, but some arty douchebag. They're arty guys, dude. They're all douchebags. I'm joking. Dude, anybody who, any guy who talks to you about shade on a painting, don't be friends with him. I'm just thinking it just looks so fruity, and I'm getting a taste from. Oh, fuck off! It's acrylic on some card. Shut your face. Right, not just anybody, but some arty douchebag who I actually met a few times, but lived very far away. I told her I needed space, and left for a few days to go and stay with a friend. My mind rocked, my world destroyed. Okay, I don't blame you for doing that, dude. I don't blame you, especially if you love her. But, this is over. I've said it so many times on this channel. This is over. This is done, right? There's no going back here. Okay. I came back a few days later after finding this channel. I know your advice is to walk away, there you go, from women like this, but it's not always that simple when feelings are involved. Okay, so I'm going to carry this on in a sec. But here's the crux of the matter. You've helped her out, dude. Okay, you've helped her out. You've helped out the gutter, so to speak. There are an alarming amount of people out there. I'm going to say women because this is the subject we're on. There are an alarmingly high amount of women out there who have had trauma in the past, or who have been thrown to the wolves by guys before, right? And they seem to think it's up to you to fix them, and when you do that, there are a lot of people out there who will drop you like a stone and go and find somebody else. Because in their view, they've surpassed you now. In their sociopathic view, their social standing is above you. So they don't need you anymore, they cast you adrift, right? That does happen. It's happened to friends, it's happened to family, and it's even happened to people who've written in before. Pirate King being a good example, right? You fix these people, they take advantage of your helping them, they fuck you off and they move on. And then they blame you when things don't go their way when they've left you. Narcissism, man. It's horrible, right? So, this is why I say don't go back. This is exactly why I say don't go back. Now, the other thing I want to say is, a lot of guys who tend to want to fix women, who tend to want to fix their problems, they tend to be very, not needy, but they tend to want to stay in the relationship, by hook or by crook. Oh my god, I'm going to help this woman. I'm going to rescue this woman. Right? Here's the thing, dude. Here's the thing. Love the person you're with. Love your woman and all that, right? Absolutely. Absolutely. Treat her well. Yeah, totally. But always let her know. Always let her know. At a moment's notice, you will walk away. The most important thing in this world is your happiness. Not hers. Your happiness. If you want to be in a successful relationship, you need to be inherently selfish. Your needs matter most, especially at the start. Your needs matter most. I need to be happy. If I'm not happy, I'm leaving. If you will righteously leave, she will righteously stay. That's just how it is. That is just how it is. And if she leaves, if you get to the point where you're like, listen, I will righteously leave, I'll righteously go, and I don't like this behaviour that you're exhibiting, and then she leaves, fucking let her walk. Let her walk. Let her go. Okay? Nothing matters more than your own happiness and your own self-actualization. Nothing matters more. You need to be very comfortable. You need to be prepared, right? I say this all the time. The best way to pull women is to have something better to do than go out and pull women. Be happy with your friends. Be well groomed. Look good. Smell good. Right? Act like you're having a good time, because you are having a good time when you go out with your friends. And don't need her. Just walk away. I'm done. Okay, I'm fine. Thank you. Right? And secondly, you need to be prepared to take the L. Okay? You need to be prepared to say, okay, I'm done, and walk away. At the drop of a hat. Right? You know that song, you know, wherever he laid his hat was his home and all that? That's not about him being a nomad. That's about women. That's about women. That's the guy who ends up with the high value, high quality woman. Because he's fine on his own. He's got his own career. He's got his own life. He's got his own wants, his own dreams. He doesn't need you. If you want to get in line and come with him, that's fine. And he'll love you and he'll cherish you and all that sort of stuff. But as soon as you're not making him happy anymore, he leaves. He's done. Because his time is precious. His time on this earth is precious to him. And he leaves. Okay? It doesn't work the other way around, by the way. Ladies, it doesn't work the other way around. Right? If your woman will leave you immediately, the guy just goes, yeah, fuck this, and nopes out. Right? He just nopes out. Fuck this, I'm gone. It just happens all the time. The minute you get any of those warning signs where the woman's like, oh well, you know, and she's acting like she doesn't really want to spend time with you, or that you're not the number one priority, or you're not like, let's say, you're not like the main, not the main focus, but like, you know what I mean? The minute that she tells you that, you know, she'll walk away at any time, that's the time when a guy loses interest. It's not right. It shouldn't be this way, but it is. That's the guy. The guy just goes, all right, fuck you. See you later. I'm gonna go find someone who does want to be that with me, you know. Whereas for some reason, the opposite is true with man and woman. I don't know why. I can't explain it. I don't know why. But you know, if you will righteously leave at any point, if you show that self-worth, and that you show her love, care, attention, you make sure that she's okay, but you let her know you don't take any shit, and you will leave at the drop of a hat if she doesn't make you happy. And there are ways to do that without sitting her down and telling it to her face. When there are behaviours that you don't like, call them out. Say, yeah, we don't do that. Yeah, we don't do that. You know, I've had women, like over the past 5, 6, 7 years who have expressed toxic behaviours with me that they've not realised are toxic, right? And I let it go a few times, and then I pull it up. Then I say, listen, I don't play these games. I don't play these games. And either you stop doing that, or I leave, because I'm not doing this. My time is worth more than what you're doing right now. Sorry, right? 9 times out of 10, they stay. And the ones that leave, it probably wouldn't have worked out with anyway, to be honest with you. Right? 9 times out of 10, they stay. Okay? This is a problem that you think you've done in this story so far. Definitely. This is definitely, I think you've done in this story so far. Is that you're a fixer. You've gone in, you tried to fix her up, you tried to make sure she's okay, and in doing so, you put more of yourself into the relationship than she has. Alright? Okay. Right. So, eventually, I went around to my place where she was staying. Yeah, she's staying in your place. To front up and see what she wanted to do. What do you mean what she wants to do? You're the one who got cheated on. When I opened the door to my place, I found her making a coffee and Artie Douchebag, yes, that one, sitting on my couch. Oh my fucking days. Oh my... Oh shit. I lost it. Yeah, no shit, man. I walked over, and before he knew I was there, I hit him full force in the side of the head. He was dazed at this point, and I dragged him to the door of my apartment. Now, I live in a condo and have a set of stairs heading to street level. Down them he went. I love that. Even if you exaggerated that part, I don't care. That was very therapeutic. To much screaming from Alison. He staggered away down the street, calling me crazy and that he should call the cops. The cheek of this guy. I head back in, and I swear I am ready to send this girl down the stairs after him. Oh my god. Only for her to slap me and tell me to my face that she never slept with Artie Douche. Oh wow. She never slept with Artie Douche. Then why is she telling you that she did? Artie Douche was in fact gay. What? She just sensed that I was fading from the relationship and wanted to know what I'd do if she told me she cheated. Oh, this piece of shit. Get her in the fucking sea. Bye. Bye. Goodbye. See you later. Yeah, you're done. Off you go. Off you go. I hope it's salty, and I hope you got cuts on your feet. Fuck off. Get in there. Horrible. Horrible. Manipulative behaviour. There's nothing worse. Oh my god. She wanted to know, and I quote, whether I'd fight for the relationship or not. Oh, go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. I'd responded by running away to my friend's place, apparently. I was crushed and let her leave. Sat on my couch and wondered where it all went wrong. We have not spoken since in a few days, but have a meeting set up for the weekend. What the hell do I do? Please, lay it all out, and I will go with it, I promise. Well, I hope you do, because here's my advice. Here's my advice. Go to the meeting with a stony heart. Prepare yourself, man. Prepare yourself. Give yourself a big old stony heart. Right? You walk to that meeting. You walk in. You sit down. Before anything gets said, you hold her hand and you say, listen. Take one of her hands, one's and both of yours. Say, listen. I've already come to a decision, and I'm not going to drag it out, okay? What you did was completely beyond the pale. It was manipulation of the highest order, and the mother of my kids wouldn't act that way. I can't spend the rest of my life with somebody who acts like that, and since I care too much for you to be a fuck buddy, I'm going to release you into the wild. You know, I need to leave. That's my decision. I cherish you, I think you're amazing, but this can't happen, and we're done. Alright? Right, I'm going to love you and leave you. Kiss her hand, have a wonderful rest of your day, and I really hope that things go well for you. Turn on your heel, and fucking walk. Go, and don't look back. And I swear to you, this bitch will be in your DMs, she'll be calling you, she'll be messaging you, don't cave. That's what she's a manipulator, dude. She wants the reaction. All you need to do is take all of the emotion out of it, because she operates on emotion. You operate on logic. You go in there with cold Vulcan fucking logic. You sit there, you tell her what time it is, and you leave. And you don't look back. You leave, you get into your place, you change the fucking locks, and you say, stay away. You're done. We are done. This is over, right? This is over. This chick somehow took cheating on you and made it worse. I don't know how she did that, right? I think there's a second there. I'm going to take a second to drink my tea. One sec. I have no idea how she did that. Turn around, leave. That's my advice, dude. I don't have any more advice for you. Right? Know your own self-worth. If you sound like a really cool guy. You sound like a guy who's done his best for this woman. No problem. She's too broken, dude. As soon as they hurt you to this extent, as soon as they manipulate you to this extent, no amount of trauma satisfies this. I'm sorry. No. No, you don't get to do this to me. You don't get to do this to me because you went through some shit back in the day. I'm not that guy. I've helped you. I've done everything that I can to help you out. If you don't want to be helped, go fuck yourself. Get out my life. Get out my life. I'll be fine. That's what you need to say. Okay? You will be fine. And you will be fine. There'll be women who are listening to this right now. Even married ones listening to this thinking, what a cool guy. What a cool guy. If you're anywhere near good looking, dude, and you approach every relationship in a similar way, you're going to be fine. One thing I would do, right? It seems to me, I've read between the lines a bit here, but it seems to me you are a fixer. Make sure that your next relationship, she knows where the lines are of appropriate behaviours and what you like and what you don't. And if they stray from there, tell them. And if they don't, and if they keep doing it, or they say, well, that's just how I am, walk away. Walk away. Your time is precious. Your life is precious. Your freedom is precious. Okay? The freedom to sleep with whoever you want is very precious to a guy. Don't give that up for anybody. You know what I mean? What I mean is for just anybody. You only give that up for the one that you're like, this woman absolutely doesn't drive me mad. She's gorgeous. She's cool. She's into the same stuff as me. We get along. We compromise all the time. You know, we're fair to each other. We are a rock for each other. That's the girl you give it all up for. Everybody else, discard. I'm not going to say the first bit of that sentence because it's nasty, but and discard. Off you go, right? Goodbye. Right, if you're not that person, get out. Get out. Especially if you're in your 30s. If you're a guy in your 30s, clock's ticking, man. Right? Maybe not for you, because you can get into your 50s and still be with a hot chick, right? But what I mean is, to get the full experience of your kids growing up without you being old, clock's ticking. That's what I mean. It's really important. Really, really, really important. If that's what you want, make sure you give it up for the right person. Sometimes you make a mistake and you think that person's right, and then you get situations like this, unfortunately. But hey, nothing gets me going more than disloyal people when in relationships and stuff. Just really annoys me. And if you've stayed until the end now, congratulations to you, man. Congratulations to you. Those are Hobby Nightmares. I hope you've had a really cool time. I'll be back tomorrow. I've got 2 lore videos this week that I might do. And another Hobby Nightmare. I might do the Hobby Nightmare on Friday. And tomorrow, I'm either going to do my 5 favourite chapters, or I'm going to give you an alternative to who should be War Master instead of Abaddon. We'll see. Love you loads. I'll speak to you later. Have a really good time. Have a really good Wednesday. And I will speak to you tomorrow. Have a lovely day. See you later. Bye.